All right, y'all. During an interview with the Sunday Times over the weekend, Morgan Freeman argued that the celebration of Black History Month is an insult. Freeman also said African American is an insult. I don't subscribe to that title. What are y'all's thoughts on his remarks? Celine, let's go to you first. What do you think about this? Selena, is she frozen?
Froze, yeah.
She is froze with
It's
that.
a nice picture, though. She's smiling.
I know, she looks beautiful. She looks like a little frozen Barbie doll there, to be honest with you.
Because what do you think?
I would love to give my thoughts if I can.
Sure, please.
You know, as an actor, and you get to a certain level of fame, please don't forget you Black. And this is just sad to me that people come up with I told y'all last week, when people want to come up with their own set of rules. Yes, is it unfortunate that we only get 1 month to celebrate Black History Month? You know how much we've contributed to a little bit of everything. We done built a whole bunch of stuff. Is it unfortunate that, we have 1 month, Black History Month? Yeah, but, we got one, and we're doing amazing strides in our country with politics, with women having more power. That I just hate when people get to a certain level of fame that they then try to create their own rules, that people have sacrificed for us to have what we do have. So I just think it's unfortunate that he says that. But if that's how he identifies, that he's entitled to his decision. But I just think, don't get too high and mighty that you forget where you came from and your people, and people that made sacrifices for us to get that month.
So Claudia, recite the question for me again. Tell me again, what happened?
So he thinks the term African American is disrespectful. The Black History Month is disrespectful, and he doesn't like the term African American. He said he doesn't subscribe to that. So what do you think about that? What do you think about him saying he doesn't like it?
Let's just kind of switch it up then. Let's see, because they're already trying to take Black history out of the school. They believe that it should just be history, period. And I concur. So I did see an interview that Morgan Freeman did. I've been a fan of his for a long time since, I don't know if you guys remember. Remember he was on Electric Company? You remember that show?
Yes. Everybody starts somewhere, don't they?
I know, right? And so I think he's trying to change the narrative. You know me, I'm gonna play devil's advocate. To say, no, don't let us be no white and no Black and no African American. We are all actors. Maybe that's the perspective that he was coming from. So maybe he was trying to cut that off. Don't call me that. Just call me Morgan Freeman. And he is up there enough now to be able to help change that. So I don't know. Maybe that was a way to look at it.
Can I just piggyback off of that though, Lisa Ray? But he's still an African American man.
Yes.
You cannot change and make up your own identity, because I guarantee you when he fills out his driver's license, it doesn't say,
I know what you're saying.
Yeah, I just don't get why everybody's coming up with their own rules of identity.
It seems like it's happening in all areas, though, like with sexuality, with race, with everything. And it's like, no, nothing wants to just be what it was. Like everybody wants to change the narrative. And is that good in some regards? I guess. And in some things, I'm like, some of it's kind of ridiculous. You know what I mean? Like I saw someone on television talking about they identify as
a microwave,
sea turtle. You know what I mean? Like, can I identify? Like, can I just be like, okay, I'm not African American. I'm just, I don't know. But I feel like in a time where there's an attack on Black people, and maybe there was more to the quote that we didn't get to, but at this time in history where never before, well, not never before, but as of late in the last 50, 60 years, we're really getting a lot of fighting against us. And I think now more than ever, we need to stick together and hang on to all things that identify as Black, that make us feel special as Black, because they're trying to erase it.
Did he say he don't identify with it, or don't call me that?
He said, I don't subscribe to it. I don't like it.
So in other words, he doesn't identify as that.
Well,
Selena,
what I missed? What the people say now? The people said they want to be Black.
So Morgan Freeman says he doesn't like the idea of Black History Month, and he said he doesn't subscribe to being called African American. So, we're talking about identity, and on one hand, it's like, okay, I get it. You don't want to be just labeled as just that, but that's what you are. What do you think, Selena?
that's a fine, that's a fine line. I understand people wanting to fight against barriers of labels. You know what I'm saying? Like people just don't want to be labeled as stuff, especially somebody his age probably didn't, honey, he was there when they escaped in the railroad, honey. So he is probably done seen all kind of racism from epic proportions. So the trauma that he probably has experienced as a Black man, especially a Black man in Hollywood, he's probably like, don't call me African American, because if you're going to treat African Americans like this, then I'm not that. So I could see that kind of concept, but
and that's what I was with it, Selena. I was like, I can understand not to put me in a box, and he wants to change their narrative to just saying, call me an actor, period. I
can see that because like y'all say, they do treat African American actors and actresses, different than Caucasian actors and actresses and other races.
A whole nother label.
Can somebody send Morgan Freeman's 200-year-old self a telegram and maybe ask him what he would like to be identified as in lieu of African American? Because I would like to go a little deeper with it. I'd like to know, do you just want to be called a man, or is it the African part you don't like, or I don't know.
Well, I mean, on the other side of this, maybe it is we're on the other side, like in alignment with Vivica. Younger people, the generations that come after you that do identify as a Black person that's very proud of who they are, it is confusing for them to see, our legacies denounced when we're just starting to embrace it, so that is it's just tough.
Yeah. But
he's got his rights.
I'm just going to say
this is not identifying as a rabbit, because nowadays people is out here like, I'm a cat.
Yes.
I want to be a mouse. People are the fool nowadays.
Before we close this topic, I just want to say it loud. I'm Black and I'm proud. How
Me
about
too.
that?
I like being Black. It's fun.
I like being Black too.
Maybe the African American thing.
Shades and colors. I love it.
Okay.
African American thing, I can see how some people didn't like it at first, but as long as he doesn't take back the Black part and you want to start taking that part away, then I can rock with that.